Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, Peculiarity. It's been a while. It's been about 3 weeks since I've posted a video, but I got sick and then we had family issues to take care of, but I'm back. So, let's get right into it. Today's video topic is diabetic alert dogs and the process to getting one, but first, we have to go over some basics. What is a diabetic alert dog? Well, a diabetic alert dog is a service dog categorized as a medical alert, and they are trained to detect and alert to the physiological changes in the body that occur when you experience hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia, so basically high or low blood sugar. The amazing thing about these dogs is that a dog's nose smells parts per trillion. A glucometer measures parts per million, which means these dogs can catch an oncoming spike or drop in blood sugar like 15 minutes before it actually happens. So it's really preventative and life-changing. Diabetic alert dogs are not for everyone. It's not a decision you make overnight, and it's a decision you need to make very seriously and with input from others. I will go through the steps that I am actually currently going through to get a diabetic alert dog of my own, but some things you need to know first are it's not glamorous, it's not this fantasy life, it's to help improve quality of life, okay? I know it sounds fun getting to take your furry friend everywhere you go, but there's a lot more to it than that. Service dogs go through hundreds of hours of training, and not even all dogs who go through the training become service dogs. First of all, you need to know what the A.D.A. is. The A.D.A. is the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's the law that protects disabled peoples, and there's a part of it that protects service dogs as medical equipment. This is the law that defines service dogs and states that they are allowed any public place that their handler is allowed, and dictates what questions employers and business people can ask. They can ask, is that a service dog, and what task is it trained to perform? Now, knowing these questions ties back to knowing the legal definition of a service dog. The legal definition from the A.D.A., which I'm going to go off my head, so don't quote me. So the A.D.A. defines a service dog as a dog, specifically, no other animal, that is specifically trained to medically aid a disabled person. So when I said diabetic alert dogs are categorized as medical alert, there are other medical alert dogs as well. Seizure alert dogs, migraine alert dogs, PTSD alert dogs. There are also service dogs for mental illnesses, service dogs for mobility, blindness, deafness, and a myriad of other disabilities that can be aided by service dogs. But we're just going to talk about diabetic alert dogs. So the first step, actually step 1 and step 2 are really, they happen at the same time and they can be interchangeable, but they are going to overlap. So step 1 is research. Research, research, research. I did almost 2 months of just plain research before deciding on a company. Not to say I didn't reach out to companies or trainers, but when I say research, you're going to research what a service dog is, what a diabetic alert dog is, what life is like with a service dog. So you're going to read articles, you're going to call people, you're going to read websites, you're going to watch YouTube videos, okay? You're going to look up news stories, alright? Because you're going to learn what a service dog is, what it's like to live with one, the laws pertaining to it, troubles that handlers run into, the differences between a service dog, therapy dog, ESA. Like, by the end of your research, you should be able to, educate another person fully on the subject. Okay, so step 2 is talk about it. You need to talk to your family, even if you live alone. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, bring it up at work if you are comfortable doing that, because, if you do get the dog, you are allowed to take it to work, but not all workplaces are safe for service dogs. So you need to talk to your family, your significant other, your friends. they might think of things that you don't. You need to talk about everything. First of all, educate them with the research you've gathered. Talk about how it would affect your lifestyle. Talk about what you're looking for in a service dog, and definitely talk about cost and how you're going to cover it, because service dogs are not covered by insurance. Step 3 is to compile a list of companies and or trainers that you need to research specifically. This step is definitely preference-based, but I strongly encourage you to do so because A, there are a lot of programs that will only serve a certain demographic or a certain geographic area. There are also a lot of companies that are scams and will take your money and not deliver what they promise. Also, there's a big time difference between self-training, training with a trainer, or getting one through an organization. A lot of organizations have waiting lists. A lot of organizations, especially the nonprofit organizations, are going to cost you a lot more. I strongly suggest trying to look local and not going through a big organization through another state. But if you can't find anything that suits your needs, go with what works for you. I'm going through a local, Christian-based, for-profit company. It's much cheaper than other organizations I looked at. The trainers are great. I've met the head trainer. She's worked closely with me, doing the paperwork, meeting dogs, cost, answering all my questions. And it's great because the training center is actually only about an hour, 20 minutes away from my house. And I don't have to rely on Skype for interviews or anything like that. So once you compile your list and research the organization, whether they breed their dogs, how they train, their waiting list, what they train the dogs for, how long they train the dogs, all this important information, you can make an educated decision on which ones to actually contact with interest. Okay? Some require an application fee, so I strongly suggest talking to a real person on the phone before you submit an application. Step 4, application. So you need to know that the paperwork part is probably going to be done in phases. Depending on which company or trainer you go with, part of it will be online, part of it might not be, and it's going to take a while. It's going to take multiple months. If it doesn't, I would garner that you need to do a little more research in the company. I know for myself, the company I'm going with required a primary application. Then I filled out a set of paperwork all about what I need and what I want out of my dog, an application all about me. Then I had to have 7 friends fill out a personality profile on me, and I had to send that in. There was a application fee to make my file active, and there were 2 papers that I needed my doctors to fill out. So the paperwork itself took multiple months. And then comes step 5, fundraising. Like I said, service dogs are not covered under any insurance. Although there are some, not very many, grants out there you can apply for. Some are cap grants, some are specific service dog grants. They are not going to cover your full cost. You have to fundraise unless you just happen to be able to drop multiple thousands of dollars on this. That's great for you. But most people can't, and I haven't heard of anyone being able to take out like a personal loan for this. So be ready to fundraise. Be ready to have bake sales and make a GoFundMe and garage sales and whatever you can do to get a buck, because it's expensive, and after you pay for the actual dog, you have to pay for all your dog equipment. It's really strongly suggested to get pet insurance to help pay for vet bills, and then there's continued costs that you're obviously responsible for, such as food. So it's really expensive, and you need to be prepared for it to take a long time and to raise a lot of money. So I'm still in the fundraiser part of my process. I had the pleasure to meet a few dogs a few weeks ago that matched my personality. I really hit it off with this dog that's a cross between a Great Pyrenees and a Border Collie. but I'm not going to show a picture because he still has to pass a couple tests, and I actually have to put half of the money down for us to be matched. So there's no guarantee at this point that he is going to be my dog. As far as fundraising goes, I just had a pancake breakfast. My church helped me out with it. Your church or your community, your group, extracurricular, school, those are great people to go to. Your family and your group. You need to build a support network that will actually help you with this process. And it gets you kind of in autopilot mode. No. It also gets you used to educating people. Because the truth of the matter is, when you actually get your service dog and you transition into life with a service dog, you're going to get stopped and asked questions, and you're going to be stared at, and you're going to be dealing with interjections on your daily life on the daily. So it really helps you spread the word and educate people on service dog etiquette before you actually get your dog. So, to review, check out the A.D.A. website, learn the laws, do a lot of research, choose some companies to research, continually talk about it with your peers and your family. Do not expect the application process to go quickly, and be ready to put a lot of effort into fundraising. If you have any other questions about service dogs, diabetic alert dogs, or anything like that, please drop a comment down below. I do plan on making more videos on these topics. I think the next one I'm going to do is the difference between service dogs, ESAs, and therapy dogs, so look forward to it. And you will definitely meet my dog once I actually get him, but I don't know how long that will be, so we'll just wait and see. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned and stay awesome.